Yeah, just what I...
Somebody's anchored up the encampments. This calls for some good old-fashioned searching and destroying, Commander. We've got 20 minutes to neutralize the targets. Search the zone for active encampment. I'll assist from here.
Hey everybody, welcome to Fortnite Live. I am Will Kinsler, you can call me Rackzilla, and we're happy to be here. We've got a big stream today where we're going to be talking about OT9, have a special Halloween event. Before we jump into that, I want to introduce everybody. So we actually have somebody new on the stream today. Tori Sabino, our community coordinator, is joining us for the first time. Welcome.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks.
So it's good to have you. Been working on Fortnite for a little while now, but
Yes.
first time on stream, right?
Yep. First time on stream, and been working on Fortnite for a few weeks now, so I'm excited to get into it.
Yep. And so people, if you haven't seen her in global chat or the forums, you probably will soon. So glad to have you here. And as always, we've got Zach and Darren from dev team.
Hello.
So it's been a little while since we've done a stream, and we've actually done a couple of like pretty significant updates in that time. Because I think the last time we streamed was OT8. So we've done a couple of decent sized updates since then, and now we're into OT9 where we've got a special Halloween event, and that's what we're going to be playing today. So Zach's going to take us through some of that. Tell us what it's all about.
The Halloween event.
Yes, the Halloween event.
Let's see, what is it all about? Well, it's honestly, it's about us making sure that we get all the kinks out of figuring out events prior to us to releasing the game. And so we're very focused on testing the event, making sure that we have all these pieces working right. We've got some cool new, like a cool new candy currency that people earn. They are able to open up, these llama packs that are these spooky sad llamas. I think that's what we called them. We have new quests that we're testing, where we're using a new reactive quest system that actually creates things in the world when you go in if you have that quest, which is super exciting. Let's see what else. Well, there's new heroes.
New hero skins.
Yeah.
That we added.
They're new heroes
They're pretty
there.
cool.
Yep.
And so we have 4 new heroes. One a soldier, outlander, ninja. What's that other class? Constructor.
Come on now.
They're right behind you if you need to.
Oh yeah, that's right. There you
I'll
are.
have a little card for you.
We added a new enemy,
Tori will tell
sort
you.
of like a new enemy skin,
Yeah.
that we put together. So basically what we're doing is we're testing like every portion of the content and sort of like our ability to mod it, add something new into the game, and then be able to distribute it. And then in a couple weeks here, on 11.8, we're going to have to figure out if we can turn it off. So these are all things you have to do in development.
He's not lying. All these things are true.
Will it turn off? It's
I was like, we're hoping so.
we were able to turn it on, so that's good. So
All right, fair enough. All right, well, let's jump into it. So, what are we gonna do here first?
that's a great question. As with everything, well, this is the spooky, scary, sad llama. I apologize. And so, I don't know. Like, can I open them?
Yeah.
I had 100. I'm saving the 100 candy. So, like, straight up, just so I could open them on stream.
I know you've been playing a lot.
Yeah,
so
he's
I
been
want you
waiting
to-
a while. Zach's got to make progress.
Anyways.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought I saw him the other day in the chat.
Oh yeah, we added these two.
Yep. We have the whole we added some cool Halloween husks workers, so people can now have those guys.
And Travis, who added these, did a great job of like in the description here. These are actually just nobody be scared. These aren't actual husks that you're getting. These are survivors that have dressed up as husks. Okay, so
Totally
so
fine.
these are just costumes.
Okay.
That's what we're telling ourselves anyway.
Yeah. Anyways,
One of the guys we were talking about in chat this week was like, hey, like there's a lot of details in the game, and they're always like excited to find out. But I was reminding people like, you can double click on our llama, and the
Yeah.
llamas make little noises
Yes.
and everything. Apparently, that was a thing that not everybody had discovered. So I'm telling everybody, click on the llamas. The sad llama is one of the more interesting of our personality choices. So.
so here you guys, we can see. I just want to say, well, QA got granted their skins. I did go about earning mine.
Good job.
Through a lot of work this weekend. So
Good job.
it was not an easy feat by any means. So, we're going to go into Ride the Lightning, which is a re-envisioned Launch the Balloon. So we didn't talk about Ride the Lightning before.
That's right.
That
That's
got
right.
new
We
in this
didn't
build, right?
because
Or
that was a
build before?
8.1
Just make sure.
update.
Just
So-
make sure you tell everybody that the art is unfinished and
The art is absolutely unfinished.
I have seen the new art, and it is impressive.
Actually,
so.
to be fair, there's a lot of art in our game that's unfinished.
Well,
so,
this
yeah,
specifically,
but this
right,
specific is work in progress.
is
for sure.
definitely going to be noticeably work in progress.
All right, so let's take a look at our.
Oh, that one's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's got his little.
We got, man, that dude is just like, whoa. Oh, now I don't have the gun yet. That's
Wait.
They all have the guns.
All three of them
All
do.
right, drop me a
They
gun, QA. Are you guys listening to me?
They'll
on
in
live?
30 seconds they'll hear you and drop you a gun,
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
Because like this stream
Or
is
you could-
over
yeah,
unless
or
you
you-
get the stream.
Yeah.
You get the gun. I know.
Drop a gun.
See, I knew.
He said
Oh, look,
drop
there's
it.
the other
yep,
one.
It's
there's
like
the-
you're
there's the
actually,
pumpkin.
he's
Yep,
actually
here's the
sticking
pumpkin
up QA
launcher.
right now.
Yeah, he's literally like, yep, that's what he's
Yep,
saying.
all right.
Oh,
here
there
we
you go.
All right, there we go. Thanks.
Now you can play
All
on.
right, yeah, totally. I'm just like, people are looking at my inventory right now. They're like, you don't need no gun. What are you talking about? All right, cool. All right, that's what I'm talking
So
about.
we're doing one of the quests right now, right?
Yeah, so in fact, we're doing Grim Harvest here.
You actually just ran by one.
Did I really?
You did.
Look at you. You've been here like a week and you're already a pro.
I'm just saying.
Good job.
I saw it and you didn't.
I know.
So.
I
should
get
get
it.
the credit
I
for that,
doesn't
not
know where
you.
it is.
I don't
I'm
see
still
it
not
either.
seeing it.
No.
There's like,
No,
oh, there
Right
it
over
is.
there. It's like back behind the
There's a
rock.
giant bang over it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that. That's where you're
What?
going.
Oh, you're supposed to get like, okay, press E. So as part of the system, so by the way, guys, people you're playing the game right now. Like this is very early on, right? So at the moment, the pumpkins don't disappear because they're not instance per player. They're instance per like the entire map. So every player that comes in that has this quest, in theory, is supposed to be able to collect these. I think Tori was mentioning. It may not work exactly that way. I'm trying to figure it
Yeah.
out. I think if both of you walk up to it at the same time and try to collect it, anyways, there's some work that we're doing. But man, the pumpkin art's cool. So we're definitely going the right direction.
Again, as we talk about this a lot in the general chat, we are constantly testing things. Some things are buggier than others. Like we are trying to get the game out and tested with everybody as quick as possible. And so you're going to find stuff that isn't quite working the way we intend.
Sure. So if people are giving feedback on the Halloween event, how are we going to use that?
So I think it's a lot about what Zach said already, which is like we are actually testing the way these systems work on the back end on our content pipeline. So any feedback that we gather for this event is absolutely going to influence the next couple events that we end up doing. So basically we're moving pretty fast. People ask like, hey, why are we doing this? It's like it's literally just to test out. So when we get to live, people have an awesome experience. So this is just step one of that. So a lot of the feedback people are getting, we are taking that to heart in terms of like what we can do in succeeding events.
Right.
Subsequent, super
Right. And ultimately, even with this content, at some point we will do a reset again, right?
Yep, like everything in Fortnite right now, we are moving through our online test phase. So that means that we do expect to have to reset. We do expect that we're going to reset for sure before we go wider again. So we appreciate everybody sticking around during our sailing through the ocean. But yeah. But everything is valuable. I guarantee you, everybody who's playing and who's taken the time to write up the feedback and care is the answer. Is generally where all this stuff starts out, right? With care about where we're going is helpful, and this is just another example of it.
So you said we're going to use the feedback for future events. So we're going to have more events. Can you say
I
what those
feel
are
like
gonna
I
look
can say that we will have more events. Team wants to do it. I think the players like them. So we will do events. Not sure what every version of that is going to be in terms of its scope. And in fact, that's probably something we're going to test in the next 6 months to see. But that's part of the process. So yeah, but we will have an event system in Fortnite. They're just too fun not to do.
Just holiday events or anything outside of that?
Not sure yet. Yeah, that part I don't know.
TBD. Doing fun things.
Yeah, I mean having time-based activities in our game, I'd say we're on the road to that, because it's cooler then, changes up the gameplay and the spice of what you're interested in doing. So
quick call out. So one thing that we did do, so we've been doing a lot of work on our HUD, rearranging things, just trying to clean up. So I believe the portion of this stuff went out in A2, and a portion of this came out in I.O. We've got a little bit more clarity around. We got a little person over here, which are the survivors that you find in Zone or Blue Glow. This bar here, this actually updates as I gain pumpkins. That is no simple thing to do with our current systems. I know it seems crazy, but this is really awesome. So huge call out to Stefan for all of his hard work. Like he's been churning away on this thing, and every turn he does makes the game better for the players.
Yeah, that came up this week. I think you were in there too, maybe for that. But in the general chat, people made some direct comments about that, and I commented about that, and to make sure that they let people know that they're happy, because a single man is toiling very, very hard in the background to make that possible.
Awesome. So if you're watching and you haven't played Fortnite yet, I have seen some people talk about codes in the chat. We are giving out codes in the chat. If you need one, be sure to let us know. We will have somebody message you. If there's a bunch of you asking, it might take a little while. It'll be my guess.
Thanks to Chris for doing that, by the way.
Yeah. we got a volunteer to help us do some of that. So
you're hitting those crit points. 168, man.
I know.
You've got some dwarf husk action behind you
Yep.
here. So that's
jumping.
So that's a thing that's actually new since the last stream. Also, is the dwarf husk can
actually
jump
we made
now.
quite a few AI sort of improvements, like a little bit, few iterations. Oh, and we haven't even talked about the building changes we've done. Oh my gosh, it's been a little while.
All right. So we made some changes to the enemies.
Yes.
No, I know. I get you're excited.
There's so many cool things.
I know.
There's things that players may not even know about.
Yeah, I know.
Because we've hidden them.
There's some changes to do that. Again,
Did I just kill a survivor someplace?
Well, I don't know.
Or did one of those dudes?
You're an expert.
Yeah, I
Tell
guess.
me.
It looks like the dude died. Feel bad
So
about that.
we made some changes to dwarfs. They now have the ability to leap. We're not 100% sure where the frequency and distance and how all that's going to work.
It's terrifying.
that.
Like I used to, if I'd be walking around in like the suburbs, like over here, I'd see him coming and I'd just stand on the car, right? And
Yep.
I'd be like, aha.
Yeah.
They'd kill them
Can't
all.
do that
now,
anymore.
not
They're
happening
vicious.
anymore.
now they'll come after you. So we're playing around with that a little bit.
And currently they can jump like pretty high.
They
right?
are superhuman in their ability
Yeah.
to jump. That part is true as well. It's always interesting because we're walking. This is actually something we get a bunch of questions on. I see in the general chat, and generally even in our company, which is like how far, what's the right amount of challenge to provide at the right ratio to the players. We've got incredibly awesome gamers that are like, whatever, this dude can never hit me level, all the way down to the like, hey, like I'm just here to build, and I'm interested in that and using my traps. So it's always interesting when we're balancing creatures like the dwarf husk, is like how powerful do we make them? What's the right challenge level for the average of our player base? And since we've got a lot of different player types playing Fortnite right now, it's actually very interesting to see like the different pieces of feedback. And it's always the challenge across all our verticalities about like, hey, like, it's not necessarily that you're like, I'm way better than the average person. Like we bring UX people into our lab, and we watch them on video, and we see how they do, and they require a bit more time. And then you have like sort of absolute hardcore guys like, this isn't challenging at all, and we're trying to figure out what's the right tuning to go through that, because we want Fortnite to be a welcoming experience, and that initially it ramps up and is a little bit easier, and then you can, as you play longer, it gets more where you have to use more of your tools more of the time. And so that's the thing that we're tweaking right now. And I guarantee you the guys at the upper end of our game are like, man, this game is super hard at this point, and then and the bottom, they're probably like, oh, this is super trivial for me.
Too easy. Yeah. So what are you talk about feedback, like what are the various inputs that we have that we looked at to understand where the game is at, right? Obviously there's players that can talk to us in global chat and use in-game tools. There's UX, there's players, some data on how players are playing the game. You talk about how we put all that together.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's interesting, if I don't know, however many people on the stream are interested actually I would say modern game development, is the sources are actually fairly varied, right? Because it starts, here with your team and the team playing the game, their feedback goes into the hopper. Then we move out to like when we have online tests, it's, hey, you're playing with the players, you're seeing what they're doing.
Right.
Then you're in the, things like if you're a game that has a general chat like we do, it's like you're looking at what's going on in general chat. Then we have the forums on top of that. And then we widen out to the next level of audience. It's a little bit less, it allows us a wider scope of audience, which is like, hey, we bring people into the UX lab. Sometimes we bring people that are a little bit more on the casual side. Sometimes we bring people who are more hardcore. Those videos get recorded. Our really smart UX team goes and watches all those videos, watches the players. They compose a giant report to us. We look at that report. There's a bunch of feedback in there. That gets added into the funnel. And then the last source is our analytics data, which is analytics gives us like much wider scope of like, hundreds of different pieces of data that then we sort of look. So, when people are like, I need to report like, we've been messing around with XP, which by the way, we'll be messing around with XP for the next 5 months, I suspect. That's a good one where our analytics basically we understand like where the players are trending, how much they're doing, like
right.
The individual data points and that you don't have to worry about. It's the weird bugs that we can't figure that out. Like when you have a bug and we're like, we need your information, use that feedback button at the top, which is our final input. And it's like because that captures information about your computer and about where you are.
Right. So is that the best way to give feedback right now? If I'm playing the game,
the best bang for buck in all seriousness, if you're going to write something down, is use the feedback button in the top right. Go up there, push the button. You can pick between bugs or feedback. That helps us. There's a bunch of data that comes with it. That's really your most. That gives the most developer information that we can possibly get. So that's not bad.
Gotcha.
But anyway, if you can do that, that's the best bang for buck. If people are like, where should I go? And when in doubt, use that button at the top. And if people, and I see some of this in general chat, if it's hanging, it doesn't feel like it's fast enough for you, et cetera, report that in the bug and say, hey, we need to make this feedback tool better.
Right.
Because I want it to be good. It's a little harder. Like, you send an email, which is good. We'll take any kind of feedback, but it lacks the context of like where your player is and account information. It's just
sure. So, are there some areas of the game better suited right now for feedback than others? Like, are there certain things that's like, man, this is what I would really love to hear about right now from players?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it varies from build to build. Where the team is collecting feedback. This version of it, since we're doing an event test, we're interested in, hey, like, are players completing the quest? How long are they taking? Can they acquire the amount of candy like we expect? Do you understand the concept of candy and these kind of different currencies in our game? Like, usually what ends up being the top of our patch notes and the top of our summary is probably your best bet of like, hey, this is the thing that we're looking at right now. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, is not, and I want to make sure I said this for our audience, is not necessarily indicative of the overall priority. Like, we may actually think the thing that people are basically like the most interested in on the forums is the most important thing, but there's a bit of a lag between how we deploy builds from the things that we're investigating, so it's not always indicative of the thing that we're caring about. Like, we cared very deeply about making sure that our XP wasn't completely combusted.
Right.
But ultimately, at the same time, we're also testing the event because it's two different, different people are working on that stuff. Plus, it's in a queue that is all going all at once. So.
Right, and there tends to be always some sort of foundational work that's happening in other areas, right? That's not necessarily things that people will see.
Yeah, that's always the thing. It's like here's the thing we were just talking about. It's like, hey, some poor engineer has to put in tons of analytic events into our system in order to actually harvest that information from the players.
Right.
It's not super sexy in terms of the one-to-one, but it allows us to, in the long game, understand what everybody's doing in that verticality. So it becomes important in the long run. And sometimes people are like, what are you doing over there? And I'm like, and meanwhile, our engineers are buried under the amount of stuff that they need to do.
Right.
So man, all right, Zach. So you're rocking this. 2 minutes
Yeah.
left. I see laser rifle.
And you already
Yeah,
have
look
5
at-
out of 10 pumpkins too.
Oh, look at this. Look at this little fort he made here. Just looking, I'm just gonna stand
Showing off.
Yeah,
Got
he
like
is showing
a
off.
sniper nest
cool.
right there.
Yep, he's got his little sniper. Whoa, and his rocket launcher.
His pumpkin launcher.
Yep,
Yeah.
he's rocking the pumpkins.
Yeah, which by the way, like on that pumpkin launcher, I don't know if like there's a plunger. That's what attaches the pumpkin to the rocket. So, just in case anybody's like, man, I'm
Just like
wanna
a
make
real
sure I
pumpkin
understand
launcher.
Yeah, would
Right.
it be in real?
It's like
yeah.
it's like
Just
if,
like in real life.
it's like if anybody's going as one of these characters for Halloween. If you need to build a pumpkin launcher, that is a plunger right
You
there.
need a
Right there.
plunger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
try.
important detail.
Don't try this at home. I think somebody has to say that.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's a plunger. How bad could it be?
Yeah.
Or if they do, we need video.
Wow, I think you're only encouraging that behavior at that point, but
Oh man.
The explosion's pretty cool.
yeah, we've been making. They actually tinkered with some of our explosions in the game lately, and that's been pretty awesome.
Yeah. So
Again, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So some of the we kind of were talking when we were talking about the dwarf husk. Some of the other different husk changes actually made like quite a few changes over the last couple of OTs. So we added this like knockback
that's
mechanic,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see more of that. Right now, by the way, like we are very overpowered for the zone. We came down here to do the quest in Stonewood, and so part of the reason all of these, husks are melting in front of our guns is because we're super overpowered. And so we'll be going up zone in sort of the next round, and we'll see a little bit more of these guys, a little bit more of the variety in the game.
Yep. And
There's a
the
smasher near
and
someplace.
the hit react system generally exists so that players, when you're putting force into the world, that the creatures feel like they're responding to that. Now we're still, at our core, that was awesome, by the way. That was pretty
Disintegrated.
awesome. That was actually, to be fair, that was
two blasts.
but that was my dream of like when we released the pumpkin launcher, that somebody be running around vaporizing smashers with pumpkins. So that's pretty awesome. But the hit react system exists to basically. So when you have powerful weapons that have knockback, it's like the monsters sort of like fly backwards and they feel good when you're hitting them. And at our core, we're still an RPG. So if you're using under-leveled weapons, then yeah, it's not going to be as awesome. But when you have awesome weapons, you're going to feel it, and it should feel good. But that's the thing we're playing around with. I just forgot. You're right. We haven't done a stream in a bit. We haven't even talked about it. There's tons of stuff.
There's
in
a
the build
bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah, we're moving so fast.
One of the amazing, awesome ones is about being able to put traps on both sides of a wall. That is like a long time wish list.
Yeah, there's a bunch of building wishes that a lot of the team has, and we see it in feedback too. We will get to it. That was one of them. Finally, that bubbled up to the top, and we managed to put traps in more places. We're going to do more of that stuff as we go. Yeah, can you think of anything else we did that's like of a major?
Oh yeah,
the major like features that we added that we haven't talked about.
So taker behavior is different, right?
Oh, that's right. Yep, we changed the taker behavior. We made him a little bit more forgiving, I think is the way I would explain it right now, to non-groups. Not sure that that's where we'll end up landing exactly, but it's definitely something we're trying.
And we made
this change. We can talk about this. We made the
She's
the
so
lobber.
beautiful.
They're bigger, right?
Yeah, we made the lobber a bit bigger
And a little more take a little more damage too.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Yep, a little bit more durable. I had to beg our artists forgiveness about that. We had a bunch of feedback that was, hey, it's hard to spot these guys in crowds.
Right.
They can't target them. Don't know where they are. They can be really deadly, especially in the early game when players don't understand what's happening.
Yeah. Usually you hear them and you know that they're there,
Yeah.
and then you're looking.
Yeah. So we made a change. We made them bigger. Not sure, and like I said, I had to ask forgiveness of the artist. That's not really the size of the model. It's supposed to be. There's a taker right there. And he just went through. He's like, whatever. Anyway, He's like, whatever. He's like,
Oh.
I'm going up through this hole. I mean, what are you going to do
the
about
next
that
dimension.
now? Yep.
Where'd he go?
Yep. But
He's dead.
But yeah, so anyway, we made that change for the lobber so players could see them more. We're probably going to have to come back around and figure out what we're going to do in the art space for that. But it's definitely playing better. We've gotten better feedback that people are able to pull them out of the crowds better, which is good.
They're ahead above everybody else.
Yep. So.
We also added transformation, right? Transformation mechanic.
Yep, transformation. That's right, man. Wow, this has been a while.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Tori and Will, you're going to have to help me, apparently talk about our game more. Even though I don't know where I'm going to make time. Are people awake at 1 o'clock? Can we stream at 1 in the morning? Would that help? Because I could do that, I think.
Isn't that
We
your
just have a
lunchtime
24-hour
there?
stream.
I could do that. Just saying. Maybe that's where this is going to end. But
Bear just toasted that taker.
yeah,
Sorry.
that's awesome. Again, yeah, we're working on new stuff for that too. Anyway, you asked me a
That's
question.
temp art. That's temp art. Bear's temp art, by the way.
Yeah, Bears. No, this is definitely temp art, but not temp VO. That is the greatest VO
Ever.
as far as we can tell.
Some of his lines are pretty good.
So transformation allows players to take some of their current schematics and mulch them up into a potential another output. It is sort of a combination mechanic that allows players to take some things that they don't think are that valuable for their play style and transform them into things that they do think is valuable. That is actually something we tested, I think, in the previous builds a bit. We're testing the same system when it comes to fabricating the pumpkin launcher, as a matter of fact. So you earn the ability to sort of have a key, and then you put ingredients in with that key, and then it can make the schematic that you're aiming for. In this case, an example of the pumpkin launcher.
I was trying to.
It's one of the first implementations the player side that we're actually testing. We'll see where it goes. Ingredients and how difficult, as always, everything is TBD. We'll be iterating through that, but this is the first version of that system. But yeah, and people are asking, should I always transform versus recycle? I think it's really up to the players, but the recycle button exists still because it's still a valuable function. I don't necessarily think that you should recycle or you should transform everything you have.
Got it.
It's not always what you'll want to do as a player, so we let people make choices. I mean, the biggest thing about Fortnite, I think we can consistently say, is that we provide, for the last 3 years, we provide a bunch of tools for the players, and then let players solve the problems however they want throughout their intent, and transform is just another tool in the toolbox of the players and how they get to play our game.
Got it. So a couple of the other things that are pretty big, we actually put 2 new modes in.
We did, that's right. I'll actually...
2?
Whoa.
Yeah,
What?
I'll let you talk.
Do you remember which ones are new, Zach?
I think so.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can talk about that, Zach.
Yeah, and so in fact, we're going to go play them right now.
Yeah, so here
I'm
we
super
go.
excited about them. In fact, we want to go challenging, right? I think we should go ahead and we'll try to do a very high threat. Let's see, what do we have here? Grasslands. All right, yeah, we do this. Oh, I'm still waiting for all my players to get out of the zone. They're all coming back still. Okay,
Fine.
so
they're looking at their score. It's okay.
can we talk about? We can use the name of. So these are what we're calling kind of
Oh yeah, the single pillars. Is that what you're saying?
that's where I was going to go.
Yep.
So anyway, so part of our we're definitely we're trying to find some breadth of content. A lot of Fortnite, it's built around the idea of you go into the zone where you need to explore to find the objective.
Right.
You then need to build a base, and then you need to activate that objective and defend it. And so it's kind of got, it's got some elements of tower defense, it's got some elements of exploration Minecraft, it's got some elements of collecting, and then it has a heavy third-person shooter element to it. So that's the core game, and we're going to continue to build modes off of that core experience.
Right.
And every mode to this point is made sure to include all 3 of those things in sort of a equal mix. Thinking about a stool with legs, it's like, oh, you need these 3 legs to have that stool to be able to be sat upon. So these missions, let's call it an uneven stool. Well, it doesn't have 1 leg. They definitely have maybe 2 legs, or maybe 1 leg's really short. These missions are more focused around. So destroy the encampments is very focused around exploration, along with shooting. Right? It's like straight up. It's like I go in, I explore, I shoot. I'm destroying the encampments, finishing out this zone. We wanted to experiment with it, see what if players enjoyed it, get their feedback on. It's not having building element. There's no building required. You can use building to your advantage if you want, but it's not the mainstay of this type of mission. And then the other type of mission, which we'll try to get a chance to go into. Let's see on the map. Here we go.
There you go.
So is rescue their survivors. And this mission is much more focused on just straight up exploration. No shooting required. I take that back. So some of the survivors have husks around them, but for the most part, you go in, you find survivors. They're going to ask you to go find other things. It's a lot about exploring the map and really having that experience. So.
Yeah, I guess I would say it ends up being how you
Storm Shard. I need one of those for my upgrades. By the
so
way,
of course. So why would you not do it right now on the
we're
live
doing Storm Shard for sure.
stream,
Yeah. Versus this one over here. This might be anyways. It's fine. We're good.
So yeah, we're just experimenting with like the mixture of the game elements in these missions a little bit. We're gonna find out what the right amount in any dimension is. So as the players are playing them, we'll see where we land. Even how much we value something like that, in how much XP, all that other, how much rewards are. All that is still TBD. Again, everything we do, you can always use whatever tool sets. I've seen some people work some encampments over largely by building a bunch of trap pits around them and then going to work on them. All that's still going to work. It's like, how does the constructor play in that? It's like, well, the constructor busts out building in the same way, and he's effective in a different way. It just allows players to be like, but different types of players can go try different types of content. So this is our experiment in that space.
So on top of, sort of trying to balance these new missions out and getting feedback from players, are you guys working on any other types of game modes or any other types of missions?
We are definitely working on more types of missions, and I would say maybe even go so far as to say new game modes. So that's definitely in the hopper. I don't want to go too far, but yeah, we're gonna have more stuff. People do ask like, hey, I want we've got some people that have been with us an entire year, right? They've been playing
year plus.
Yeah. So those people are like, hey, I've been playing your game for a year. I would like some more stuff. 2 years, some of the guys, right?
Almost 2.
Yeah. So yeah, again.
Shout out to those players.
In
That's
December,
awesome.
OT1.
Yeah,
That's right. OT1.
Yeah. So we've been so those guys have been saying like, hey, I'd like some more mission stuff, and so our team also wants to do that for the same reason. So we're definitely working on new mission types. That stuff should be you'll see probably percolating into our builds in the next 3 months or so, I bet.
And just a note on this mission. So these are super. These are fairly early on prototypes. So again, sometimes the art fools our players in a good way. This looks super awesome. This is proto art, and right now the UX of this experience is you find this thing, you don't know what it does. So I know currently Ash is working on improving a lot of these missions, so there's a lot of feedback that we've been getting from players that we're working on.
You know what's not getting improved? Your ability to aim at.
I know! It's just like they move around, I'm confused.
That new assault rifle will not help you.
I'm talking.
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
I'm going to make excuses.
It's fine.
This is the way I play the game.
No, with the pumpkin launcher, you don't have to aim at.
Yeah, you just kind of get in the general area.
Well, I also have so I could switch over. So I got this monsoon. That, look at the ammo on that thing, 114 ammo clip on this thing.
With that kind of aim, you're going to need lots of bullets. I agree with it. Maybe this is your friend.
Yeah, it's just like, this is just point.
Yep.
Anyways.
Yep.
So, let's see. Did they kill one yet? I think they might have destroyed one.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. See,
something happened over there. Something happened over there.
Ooh.
Man down.
I'm trying to explore this map as I move along.
It's like they need your help, and you're getting distracted.
Yeah, you're right.
I am, but They easily play this game more than me, so they should be
You
fine.
see the clock is counting down, Zach.
I know, 17 minutes.
Yeah, and that was another thing we're playing around with. Like this mission has an absolute clock.
Oh, there's
Hey,
a
there's
pumpkin.
something. There's a pumpkin.
Oh
you
man,
need.
I need the pumpkin. Okay, sorry.
no,
we
it's
need
fine.
we need 10 of them. So
Yep.
4 more.
So you talked a little bit earlier, Darren, about some of the XP changes and how it'll probably be some months we're continuing to iterate on that kind of stuff. Can you talk in a general sense about like
There's the stuns,
is,
by the way.
is the game balanced right now?
Yeah, I laugh about that.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
I think because we get that feedback a lot, like, hey, your game is not balanced, right?
Yeah, we are basically moving through some of the space around balancing the game right now, but there's just been a couple of things that basically we've been building on the back end infrastructure stuff that we've been trying to finish in order to sort of rapidly iterate some of these pieces. Everything from the skill tree that we built to the way score and XP is computed on the back end, and they're not super sexy things, but
Yeah.
they basically create it makes it more difficult to balance the game. So the answer is no, we're not balancing the game. Everything from the rates at which you earn XP to the rate you earn RP to the everything in the game we're tuning. So we're well aware that this stuff is still fresh paint. And I hope everybody, like, when they're playing and they're like, I'm about to throw my mouse for various reasons, that
Yeah.
they realize that, like, yep, I bet you there's a developer who also already threw his mouse before you got there in the same thing
Sure,
and wants to
sure.
desperately to make the changes.
But we do want players to know that we know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like that,
Yeah.
that we know that. But this is kind of like the spirit of what our alpha is, right? Is like, hey, we need you guys to play. We need you to give us feedback. Sometimes that thing you care about might not be a thing that we're getting to right now.
Yeah. Again, I that we joke, but it's actually pretty true, which is like there is a grand list that has everything on it that
Yeah.
that every cool idea that everyone's suggested. It's just a question of how long it's going to take for us to get to that. So it's when we get the feedback, it does end up on a list, and we're like, yeah, what are we going to do about this? And then it's just we only have so many people. It's like it's very interesting. Like people are like, hey, retask your other 400 people onto doing this, that feature. It's
Right.
like, yeah, that's not kind of this, how we work. So we're comparably the size of the game team that we have is fairly economical for the
Sure,
scope
but
of this
moving
game.
pretty quickly. Obviously, we streamed like a couple months ago. There's a lot of features
Oh,
that
yeah,
we've
no,
been talking about since the last time. And so one of the things that happens sometimes is like we try to put out the release notes as accurately as we can.
Yep.
It is a thing that happens where sometimes stuff is missing, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Yeah, I definitely want to make sure that gets said. Is that there's no. Yeah, look, they labeled it and everything.
I
for
know
you.
they did. They're so nice.
That's the thing that gets said is like there's no grand conspiracy about changes not being documented. Like, trust me, like if you're here and you're playing our game at this stage and where we are in the process, like everybody understands that our players are super smart and that they will find out everything that we've done to the game. So there's no grand conspiracy to not list it. It's literally probably some guy is trying to check something in at 1:30 in the morning to get that feature out for the player base.
Yep.
And he just or she doesn't have just is like, hey, I didn't get a chance to note that, or we just missed it in the patch notes. There's no desire to that. We will get better over time. I like to make sure everybody knows, though, it's going to be a process as we move into next year. Like, we're going to get better at doing it.
Yeah,
but the faster we move, the more likely those kind of things are going to change.
Yeah, so usually what happens is when we hear something like that, I'll say to Zach, "Did we do this?" And he'll be like, "Did we do this? I don't know. Let's find out."
Yeah, let me go talk to the guys and we find out. Yeah, exactly.
Did we do it? So if you're seeing that stuff, I mean, definitely let us know. We'll look into it and let you know what's going on. And it sounds like sometimes some of the stuff that gets checked in, it's like a thing gets checked in and it's only part of what we intend the ultimate feature to be, or the ultimate piece of it.
That's a tough thing. Like, we really, we try very hard to remain to be able to publish our content as quick as possible to get it into the hands of the players as soon as possible. As a result of those turnaround times, sometimes things are not well documented, or they end up being half built. As an example, like where it's like, can we release this? And we just value getting things into the hands of the players.
Just tends to be better
faster.
to do it and release it, and understanding even probably sometimes when you do that, you have a pretty good idea of what the players will say about a thing that's unfinished, right?
Yeah, they're like,
you know what the elements are.
Yeah,
of a
they're like,
feature
hey,
that's not finished.
this isn't as good as I want it to be, and I'm like, man, I'm right there with you. I too,
working on it.
I too want to make this better. So yeah. But again, like generally as a whole, I really appreciate everybody's patience with regards to some of this stuff, because I think they're interested in, like, a lot of our audience has been with us for, we're actually I don't think that's true anymore. Like, we're adding lots of people, but I think the people that are here are interested in game dev and like how the process is, and like what early games look like. So I appreciate their patience through that, and I know sort of developers, like I'll be quite honest with you. I mean, I've been in online games for quite a while, and this team of guys and gals are definitely they care a lot about the players, a lot. Mm-hmm. So it is actually a really good thing, and they're probably mirroring the pain of like, yeah, man, I really wanted to finish that feature, but we just ran out of time, like, et cetera, et cetera. So they care too. So.
Yeah, and one of the features that as a couple of teas ago, which was new, was a skill tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how we progress. Like, where do we feel like we are in terms of skill tree?
No longer a skill trunk.
Yeah, that was like phase 1. I mean, I think the thing I said is, I think we're like, if we were trying to get to a 1.0, we're probably like 0.4, like 40% of the way there. Mm-hmm. In terms of iteration. There's a couple of like fairly significant things that we're going to change in the way it works and how it lays out. So nowhere, I would say we're not even 50% of the way done with it. It turns out actually that when we started unwinding some of that pieces, that's how we actually kicked over the rock of the XP system, and we're like, wow, like this thing needs a bit more work, and it was because of the work on the skill tree that opened up the box and been like, yeah, there's bugs and things that we don't like in the way the XP is granted, so we had to unwind that in order to basically make the skill tree better. So again, it's sort of weird, like it's hard to maybe it's not hard. I mean, to understand a lot of these systems are interconnected.
Right, and that's the nature of you change one thing, or you put in one thing that's not complete, and then it impacts other areas of the game.
Yeah, and then we're trying to figure out, like,
it's like a whack-a-mole of like, what's the next one you gotta.
Yeah, and again, I want to make the team, they have a good understanding of that and are constantly pointing out the dependencies to Zach and I. It's like, hey, if this thing isn't related to this thing, and they're like, maybe this is going to take 2 more builds in order to do that, and sometimes Zach and I are straight up like, yeah, like we're going to have to go halfway through this one. Mm-hmm. So like we do make those trade-offs sometimes, but
and it sort of circles back around to everything's not balanced, and sometimes we do miss things, but that's because we're just doing so much right now. So
yep, I mean, it's not like I said, it's not a desire to not share all the stuff. Actually, this is the point, right? We're talking about all the features we added in. Like, people, the team makes the game so players can play it, and like, so hiding things that are happening in the game is not their intent. They want people to experience it and see where they landed. So anyway,
gotcha. So Zach, one of the things that you and I have talked about a little bit is we see some of the posts on the forums from players who are like, man, I want to hear from you guys, even more. Like, what do you think about some of that stuff?
I would love to spend a lot of time actually replying to a lot of those posts, and there's constant trade-offs of how do we reply, and like,
missed a pumpkin.
Yeah, did I? Where's that?
See?
Dang it!
Look,
dang it! He's like, man, I'm gonna make you miss pumpkin.
Too less. It wasn't
as
for
soon as I
us.
start asking him questions, he's like missing the pumpkin.
I probably would have missed it anyways. It was only because Darren wasn't answering questions that he could remind me that I was missing it. Otherwise, I just would have straight up missed it. There's always some trade-off that we're making in those pieces. The thing I can say for sure is, we read, our team reads that feedback and reads all those pieces. And sometimes there's just not a great answer that is just simple, other than we totally hear you guys. And at the same time, that kind of feels like not authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to find the right answer that also indicates that like we don't know how long some things are going to take, and we do have a list that we're working down. I mean, and unfortunately, it's a lot of what the players already know, which is we're working on XP as fast and furiously as possible.
Right.
And even this change we made now, it's better. It's still not right. We're still
Sure.
like it's still on the list.
Sure, and so even the next OT or update that we do could
more XP.
Could be
More
still that way.
iterations.
And of course, with players, saying this kind of stuff to us, we're trying also, reach out to the community team. We brought on Tori. She's in global chat. She's in the forums. Hopefully, you guys see me some in there. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. Keep talking to us because we want to hear from you. We value all the stuff that you guys are telling us.
What if we made like a giant fan trap that would blow away all the bee clouds? Would
Oh,
that be
man.
awesome? I'm just saying. Hypothetically.
Hypothetically, yes, that would be awesome.
Yeah. It's okay. I can,
And then
I can
it'd
feature
blow away.
creep, I can feature creep right here.
Yes.
Right.
You could point it up, and then like the lobbers that are like the lobs that are coming down, and blow those up and out of the way. Would that be? Could we do that too?
Yeah, that would be
And
pretty
then, what else could we do with it? Oh, we could then create balloon husks, and then that could blow the balloon husks away. That would be cool for sure.
You need what? One more.
I think the team would be just happy to go back and iterate the traps, just even the set
existing
that we
traps?
have. Yeah. All right, we got 5 minutes. QA. Where are we at? Oh.
Uh-oh.
No, I know the answer. Zach knows the answer. He's collecting enough time.
Okay, so let's see here. Oh, fair. Oh man, all the way back other side.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're already on their way.
Yeah, I know.
You just gotta
Like,
follow 'em.
That's right.
They have a sense of urgency, Zach.
I know. That's because I said, man, let's go complete this.
Don't miss any
I still haven't
pumpkins on
gotten.
the way.
To be fair, I still have not gotten a gold on this map so far. Now, primarily, I've been trying to solo it over and over again, trying to beat out Ash's logic. Yeah, Ash did a good job on making sure this thing was really hard to beat solo. So to get all the way to a gold badge. So
Right.
so we've already. I think we've beaten it. Now we're just going through and trying to beat the super bonus encampments.
Right.
Yeah, we
So-
want, we're talking about the balance. Like we want players to be able to move through the game and play solo. But there's also points of time of like to be truly awesome at some of these missions. Like you do need to bring a friend through.
Sure.
But it shouldn't block your progress through. So that's some of the we're walking that line constantly about like, hey, yeah, we want things to be completable, but we also want to be able to, hey, if you bring some friends, like there's a challenge here.
And it tends to be more
and it's
rewarding that way.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which again is not that's a fairly typical, RPG conceit. So.
And speaking of playing with friends, we are giving out codes in chat. So, Chris, if you're still there and you still have codes to give out, chat, let him know, and maybe you can get a code to play the game or a code for your friend if you would like to play with a friend.
Yeah, any of those codes that come through the chat today, you'll actually have 2 friend invites with it when you log on to Fortnite.com. So
Yeah, that's actually that's something we could tell because we answer that question quite a bit in the general chat. It's like if you're the, I guess we will say the seed, key.
Yes.
So if you're the person that like one of your friends doesn't invite you, we give you the key. That key comes
there
with.
you go.
There you go.
Did it.
That key comes with friend invites. You just have to log into the website. You can put in their email, and then that stuff they'll mail it out. So like, I feel like there's probably chunks of our player base that because they don't go to the website because that's why would they?
Sure.
And
Man,
that they have.
oh.
Look at that. Anyway, that they have friend invites. So so take a look. People are out there and you're like, oh, I didn't know that. It's like, yeah, you may have friend
I
invites.
feel like you should be punished for dying, like drop a pumpkin or something. And one of your pumpkins falls out and smashes on the ground. That doesn't happen, does it?
No.
You have to eat the pumpkin to revive.
You do drop your blue glow.
Yeah.
And that's and depending on the mission type, that can be tricky. Dude, if only you had a bear or something.
Oh yeah,
A
that's
giant
right.
bear
I do have that.
A giant bear with a
Good job.
machine gun. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. That bear's got your back.
Yeah, quite literally. Yeah, you guys can't hear the audio. It's so awesome.
Well, you made it. You made it
Let's
through.
see.
You got all the
Okay, 2
pumpkins.
minutes. I think this is, man, I think this is the last one if we can get over to
Can
it.
you-
and
can
get
you make it in
destroyed faster.
time?
Don't know. I think it's going to be super close.
Run!
I know.
2 minutes before I have to pull you out.
Get my Outlander speed. Try to get over there. Okay, everybody's in suspense. That's great.
We want to see. We want to see if you can make it. All right.
All right, chat, place your bets.
Yeah,
Can
I
they
know, I'm
can
gonna
they
get-
get the
can they
last
do
one?
this?
A minute and a half left.
I'm gonna say they can do it.
Really? All right. All right.
Well, I don't want to.
Well, they can. No, well, what you just saw though, they're right. They do all have pumpkin launchers.
Yeah.
They can
is-
mill through some guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good.
oh,
That'll
did you
be-
get him?
Oh,
Minute left. Man.
Yeah, I was
Those
playing.
guys are
I was
bag of hit
playing
points.
yesterday or the day before, and I was playing with a new player, and they were asking me like, "Hey, can we build limitlessly?" For I think it was a fight the storm objective, and I was like, well, the thing is like you can totally build limitlessly in some mission types, and then other mission types either have bonuses for completing on time,
Sure.
or these missions are timed specifically. So hey, I only got 20 minutes to play Fortnite. It's like, what mission are we going to roll into? These missions represent slices of like quick play missions, where hey, you're going to go in and you know when it's going to end. I don't think you're going to make it.
I don't think so either.
I think you
We'll
guys
find-
are-
I
I think
think
you
we're
guys
just too
are-
many
It's gonna
waves.
be
I think we're one
close.
wave off. I just did not move fast
I
enough.
believed in
gonna
you,
be
Zach.
close. You're also.
You're pretty.
Is everyone there? Is all 4 people
Yeah,
there?
yeah, we're all.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
They need those pumpkin launchers. Make that work, man.
No, I don't think we're gonna do it.
If only somebody had like an airstrike or something. Yeah. Maybe.
Calling them out, Darren.
I'm just saying. Zach is no chaos.
Oh, did we get it? Did we get it? No.
no.
Oh,
one
damn
husk
it.
there.
One husk. Maybe. You're close,
Oh,
though.
oh.
You did it.
Did you get it?
You destroyed it. Let's see.
That
Is
was-
this?
No, I think it only gave me the silver.
I was
Well,
gonna
the
say, I
time
feel
was
like
over,
time-
though.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another. I think there's another encampment on the map. Oh, I didn't quite see it. I think there's one more. See, that's the thing. Ash made it really hard. Super awesome, though. Oh, well. It's okay. I'll get over it.
Next time.
Or wait. This says all encampments destroyed. Is that any good? Is that all? All? Is that gold badge?
You got a
What
level
is this?
4. You got a level 4
It's a
chest.
4 chest. Well, this
Yeah.
is pretty good. Maybe it did it. I don't know. Well, we'll have to improve the UX.
I
of
was
that.
just about to. Sounds like some feedback.
Yeah.
So what you do is you go to the corner and you
Right
click
here,
feedback.
we'll do it right now. We'll show everybody how to do it.
Zach isn't sure if he did it or
So
not.
Zach, how do we submit feedback?
Yeah.
Can you show
Why
us?
don't you walk us through the process about it? A little unclear about
That's right.
this objective.
Okay, so we're gonna go up here. We're gonna go feedback. We're gonna leave a comment.
There you go.
Make sure it's model feedback, Zach.
Yeah, I'm just thinking
It's
this.
not constructive.
I was about to say that. I was
You
like, is
don't
this the
wanna-
way we want our players to?
Help
I can't. I don't want to have those. I learned it from you, Zach.
Yeah.
Zach
comments.
told us to do it like this.
That's
I'll
right,
forward
that's
that
right.
directly to his inbox too. I'll be like, here.
Submission.
It's hard for me to tell.
Thank you.
There you go. Boom.
So where is this gonna go?
We actually have a huge alias. It goes to a lot of people. So
Yeah, so it actually goes multiple. So it goes into email. So it goes into my and Darren's email boxes, and so we see it. And then it also goes to QA. It goes into our Jira. So it goes into our bug tracking system on the back end. And then we have a dedicated person that actually goes through, collates them all, looks at both the feedback and all the bugs that are coming in. Pull some of those together. The bugs, the QA will go test those, try to reproduce them, identify them. Like they'll look at all the crashes, and then so there actually a lot of bugs get fixed on that. And then the other feedback QA puts together a report for us, and we take a look at it, and so then those become sort of the things that are feedback that are sort of UX or user experience issues, player experience issues. Then those get put in and tagged, and then we look at those every sprint. You know, every development cycle, we're looking at those, reviewing them, deciding which ones we can get in to fix and which ones that we need to wait on. So
Yeah. Sometimes at 1:30 in the morning, I'll just forward them directly to people, circumventing all kinds of processes that we have in
yeah,
place in
well,
order to
this is
do
the reason
stuff.
it comes into our email box, so we can
like,
do that.
which
up,
isn't
that
always-
actually happens,
which isn't
yeah.
always a good thing, but I have
It's
occasionally
not
done that.
necessarily a bad thing.
I'll be like, this piece of feedback's really good. I'm going to forward that directly to who I think wants to know about that.
So
it does work.
We're almost right at 5. Do you want to do a quick one? You want to do one quick one?
Well, we can jump in and we can just take a look
See
at.
it.
Okay.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Let's look at it.
Okay, because this, by the way, the user experience on this is definitely, like, we're working on it. So the player experience here is we'll show what's going on, but there's work. Ash is on top of it, so it's good. So Ash is probably like, why are you showing those? He's probably IMing me right now. He's like, stop. but they're awesome. They're super cool. I'm really glad that we put them in for the test.
I know there's been a couple times where I've done the rescue the survivors, and it was very difficult to do by yourself.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very
I would
difficult.
say I would almost say that rescue may be the hardest solo mission we have in the
Yeah.
game right now, from my perspective. Because even with
pretty tough.
with all the tricks I know about the Outlander or the double jumping ninja, it still can be challenging to move.
Some of
from
the
point to point.
survivors are kind of difficult because they want to bring their belongings
very
with
needy.
them.
Yeah, they
It's like-
need things. Yeah.
It's like when you're on the airplane and they tell you all the evacuation procedures and they're like, "Don't bring your luggage with you."
Yeah, and they're like,
"Don't
"But
grab
I-
your bag."
Yeah, they're like, but I
I'll
have
stand
this,
up.
but I have
Really
this bag.
need a
It's
bag.
really important.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, for all I know, it could be modeled on that.
Then I have a thing that goes in the bag that I
Yeah.
need as
Now,
well.
the survivor, who knows, they might have something really important in there that is.
Dude, come
Maybe
on.
they
I
have,
know.
The
The
machine
you know,
pistol. Take care of that. You
Trying
be
to.
the hero.
I got her.
Good job.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, don't let any of your survivors get hurt. We still want them to be survivors.
Yeah, there's yeah. We have
in
to
the
name
name.
them something else. Yeah, that becomes important.
All right, so a couple key things here. Let's see, I can't quite see the icon. So if you look, so a couple pro tips, right? So there's a little arrow on the survivors. If the arrow points down, then the survivor's down underneath you someplace. If the arrow points up, it's above you. If there's no arrow, then you're on the same level as the survivor. So that
I actually
can
didn't
help
know
you
that.
track them
Yeah.
down pretty
Yes.
quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That might make it easier.
Yeah.
So
So
so what we did here, so just a second. So
Yeah, go ahead.
so basically she's like, I need a backpack. I can't leave without the backpack. So now you're like, where do I find the backpack? So on your map, right, you will find that little what is it, magnifying glass?
glass,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're searching for it. Anyways, that pops up on the map. And so then the idea is you now run over to the magnifying glass.
It's probably because she's wearing the 1980s sunglasses that you can't see her backpack. It's
That's-
probably
Yeah. She's like, I don't know why
Yeah.
why did they leave it there? Anyways. So
Yeah, I mean, again, people are like, "Hey, why are you doing this?" et cetera, We're with why the backpacks. It's just we are testing out the ability to have these objects in the world, having players retrieve them. Even this grid that tells you, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, somewhere in this area." Pretty sure that not everybody is
Super
thrilled
excited about
with that
yeah.
choice
Right.
right now, but
Sure.
it is what we put into the game just to test some stuff.
So now, so this is the search area. So you come to the search area, and then you're like,
Right.
And then as you get closer, we've got this little indicator that's like, oh, it's over here, and then there's a little
There's some particles on
collect
that
thing up.
Yeah.
Now, when you have the backpack, you have the item. Their question marks are now turned to yellow, so that means that you have the item for that person.
Right.
Now, the fun part about this mission is that you literally can go talk to all the survivors initially, and you can. And then you can try to go find all the backpacks as a secondary thing.
Gotcha. So you don't have to do one at a time.
Man, but then like knowing which ones that you have,
You have to remember which
becomes pretty
which
important.
one
you
picked
yeah,
up
so you
which.
just kind of collect them all. So
You could work as a team, and one person goes around and talks to all of them, while the other person goes and looks for
That's
their
searching,
backpacks.
yeah.
that
So-
is
that is actually a fairly sound strategy. Like
There you go.
we're again, this is the thing. Like if you're grouped and you're doing your thing, like you can make your life a lot easier. This person.
Oh, and now she needs a journal. What's up with that? Like now she needs a journal. She's
Whatever.
like, man,
Sometimes-
journals.
Sometimes
really
late at
important.
night you need to
Oh,
jot down your
man.
thoughts.
Why didn't she tell you that the first time
I
that
don't
she
know.
needed 2
It's
things?
fine.
This is like when I go to the store and my kids are like,
That's
"Hey,
right.
I need that thing," and it's like, "I told you I was going to the store."
I wouldn't even say that's your kids. I think I sometimes have to have that conversation in
with,
my day.
with your
Yeah.
with yourself.
No,
Like,
with me probably.
I'm just
He's like,
saying,
he's like,
people-
why
like,
are we
wait.
coming back around to this, Zach?
I'm like,
I left my purse in the car.
It's like, didn't we just talk about it? You could have told me this all at once.
Okay, so did you see this here? Look at that. It's even directional. It points up if it's
I see
up.
that.
Isn't that crazy?
This is some next. I was about to.
Isn't
wait,
the
I was gonna
arrow
get
on
yelled
the
at 'cause
item too?
I was like, this is some next gen
Yeah, the arrow does
technology
this.
right
Yeah.
here. I'm just saying, next gen.
I could use
exciting.
this. Where did I put my phone? Where did I
Yeah,
put
where
my
is
journal?
my phone?
It looks like it's up again.
If you guys can solve the problem of why did I walk into this room,
Oh, yeah,
I can't
there is.
remember.
Yeah.
like, that would be great.
All right. What are you gonna
Then
do?
here.
What are you gonna do? Man, you just punch through that wall, man. Just you're like,
Oh, there's
whatever.
a
I want
person
this
in here,
loot.
too.
Yeah, there he is. He's like, hey.
How do you get behind all that stuff?
No. What am I doing? Oh,
Showing off your skills.
or lack thereof. There we go. Okay, let's. Where is that thing?
Keep going.
Is it up again?
Yep.
No. No.
Can you see the little arrow in the corner?
Down now.
There it is, right there. Look at that. I was
Bam.
right in front of it. Okay.
But it's not that guy's backpack though.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
no.
No,
He
he
took
has
someone
a
else-
backpack.
he took
No,
somebody
else's. Yeah, he took somebody else's,
That's
yeah.
right.
He's somebody else's backpack. He's living
Maybe you shouldn't help him.
Yeah. Questionable. listen, our heroes
Just leave
don't
him there.
don't make moral judgments over the people they rescue.
Oh,
They're
they just
they're
take
they're
everybody-
They're heroic, right?
Okay.
That's how they roll.
All right. That's why I'm not a hero in the game.
Yeah. that's true about so many of us. So, we talk about that. I mean, our big, actually, that's a fair. It's an interesting statement. A lot of we've talked about that as a game. It's like, yeah, like we're kind of the hopeful survival. Like our heroes are heroic. They are interested in saving the world. That is the nature of this particular fiction. So we don't make moral judgments about people's journals and backpacks in the way I would, for sure.
Yeah, it's
Like, I don't
important.
think you really
it's
need to-
important to them. So
You'll have
we'll
time
help
for
them out.
your journal full of
There's
feelings.
another pro tip
later.
right here. Just destroy the card, get the survivor down.
Yep.
It's a lot easier than trying to build to get up on top of it.
Yep.
All right, let's see here. All right. Oh, have we just cleaned up? Yep. Oh, looks like I can go.
Somebody's handling the right one, the right magnifying glass. I see one of your
Yeah,
fine
and these guys. One of these
players.
guys sort of. There you go.
Boom.
Oh, does he need a journal now too? Man,
He's like,
Oh,
I
He's got his
man.
grocery
Why
list on
didn't
that
he just
journal.
steal
Come
that
on.
like,
from
I
the
need
other
to
lady
jot
too?
down my thoughts.
Maybe he has, all his phone numbers in that book. He can't lose them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stay here, wait for those guys to go get that journal for me. 'Cause I believe if I just wait, maybe they'll go collect it.
I wouldn't say that based on that map.
No, they certainly don't seem to be going for it, do they?
Zach
All
needs
right,
that one
Zach's
thing.
doing-
Let's
yeah.
not get it.
Yeah, he's doing his own thing.
That's okay.
I don't know, like many of our, like I like the Outlander. We've talked about her cool costumes and whatnot, and I definitely like the homage we have going on here. But I don't know if that would be a good real world choice.
The green hair?
Yeah, no, not the green hair. No, not at all. The stripes, the vertical stripes. I don't know.
Is that not the Halloween costume that you would choose?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking about that the other day.
What Halloween
as
costume
guys-
would you
As
choose?
I was picking, no, I would be a lot as I was picking on Kale a little bit. But the thing is like no, I think the soldier skeleton is pretty good.
Yeah.
If I could make it, the llama head is actually pretty awesome though too.
I feel like
Oh,
one
man,
of
the
I feel like
llama
one
head.
of us.
Oh my gosh.
It
I feel like
would
one
be-
of us has
that
to
would be
has to
amazing.
cosplay on the stream at some point now.
Yeah.
Because it's happened on the Paragon stream, so the Kale
got
stuff
that
that you're
guy.
talking about.
Yeah.
We have to
He's,
one-up
he
him.
showed up
He did.
on
I was
stream
impressed.
cosplayed as Wild West Murdoch.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he didn't tell anyone he was doing that. He just showed up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wish we actually.
So if one of you wants to just show up as an
No, but
Outlander
it's
or
actually, what you're talking about is actually really
free.
good. I wonder, maybe I'll find this later and tweet it out to people who give a crap. But we actually about what we're doing because I think it is hilarious. We actually did a presentation the other day, and Derek, one of our UX
yeah.
designers,
That was amazing.
literally put on a costume in order to deliver his Halloween presentation.
Really?
And
Oh,
he
that
had
was great.
he had a whole suit and there were like bats on it and he had a tie that matched. It was awesome.
It was great.
And it was just about the thing. And I was thinking to myself, I
There's-
was like,
there's
if
still
only
time.
if only our players could see some of the antics that are going on behind the scenes as we're making this game. So yeah, he did have that. If it had been today, I'd be calling him right now.
I
from the
I
stream.
think well, so our
Yeah.
epic Halloween celebration is on Friday.
Is that true? Oh.
It is, and I think if people on the Fortnite team show up in costume, maybe we can put some of that stuff on our Instagram.
Oh,
so
okay,
people
all right.
can see it.
All right.
Did we
AKA,
finish?
you should dress up as
Oh,
something.
I don't know about that. Like,
I'm gonna dress up.
Well, I think we might be done.
He still won't tell me what he's dressing up as. I want to know.
Gotta see.
You just gotta
gotta be
wait.
a surprise,
Yeah,
I
it's gonna be a
guess.
surprise.
I don't want to oversell it because it's really not that special.
Oh, there
Nope.
we go. There's the last. I think
yeah.
this is the last
Well,
one.
remember,
We're very close.
you got to get you want that maximum badge. You got to work more than.
You gotta search the entire.
Yeah.
That's right.
So no costume, but I know Zach at least likes candy, right?
I used to.
So
Do you want to
you not?
idea
you
of
not
candy.
steal
What
it?
is candy duty, Zach?
No, yeah. Zach has very thoughtfully cut a lot of sugar from his diet.
Oh.
For various
right.
reasons.
That's right.
Maybe he's less animated on this stream as a result. I
I
don't
wasn't
know.
sure because he recently started a team meeting by asking people if they put candy on their
Oh,
popcorn.
I did ask that, right? Like, by the way, for those of you watching the stream, have you ever put mixed candy with popcorn? Like that, I really want to know the answer to this. Now, I don't know if it's just my upbringing or what the deal was, but I got sort of mentored in this important element by my parents that M&Ms went in popcorn, and they're really good in popcorn. I
Don't
don't
they
know,
melt
like
though?
that-
If the popcorn's
that's where I
warm?
would
do- See that it is warm. The chocolate inside melts, but the candy shell keeps it all together,
By the way,
right? And so then it's just like little pops
out
of
of
like
that room
awesome
out of that
chocolate
room of
burst.
people, everybody on the dev team, how many people had done that?
Like 1, 2, like it was
I
crazy.
think the internet is going to show that proportion. As well.
I believe that might be. It's like I'm surprised. And you grow up with certain things. You're like, oh, of course everyone does this, and then you find out.
Okay,
it's not
apparently,
true.
apparently people in the chat, this is a thing. This is
They're
a
like-
thing that they do.
They do.
Okay,
do that. All right.
like-
All right.
like-
so you're not alone. See,
now,
the internet it has a place
well,
for everybody.
That's right. Well, the other thing I was thinking is maybe it's a West Coast versus East Coast thing because
fair.
like I grew up West Coast, and so maybe it's just maybe there's a cultural thing going on, or I don't know.
Maybe there's like a
In the
Reddit for you.
chat
It's
said
like-
M&M minis and mac and cheese. Wow.
Oh,
Wait, what?
What? That sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
There's no cure for whatever you've got. That's just terrible. That's the worst thing ever.
So, how does this mission end if you actually found all the survivors?
Did you?
You keep
I
going.
think so.
Yeah.
You keep going.
Do you keep going?
Bonus
I don't know. I've
score.
never
You
had
just
this happen.
No,
Normally I'm just like
it does keep going like this, but I'm not. The interesting part for me is like you don't actually know how many survivors are
Because we've got bonus rescued 4, but the badges looks like
but
only
do you
like
know-
a 2.
yeah,
is that
exactly.
2?
Do you know?
Is that a good 2 or is that bad 2? Does it go to 1? Does it go to 4?
I know most of the answers to these questions, but I'm going to.
I don't.
I'm going to pretend ignorance, so like our just
That's
like our
fine.
players will be.
That's fine. see, I just work to make sure I don't have to feign ignorance. Just like I literally don't know. Until I know, this probably is not going to be what we need. Huh, interesting. All right. Well, there's a little unexplored area down here. Let's just double check it. Make sure there's nobody hiding out. A cave or some other place. Oh, I'm out of ammo now. All right. Go down here and get this crystal.
So I know we're not that entertaining, or at least I'm not that entertaining. Do we hit all the things that we wanted to talk about today?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to know.
And
that
more.
I'm sorry if we haven't hit all your because now we're over an hour, right?
Yeah, we're over an hour.
Okay.
Check
Well,
it.
we can
No,
just.
I don't want to end. I don't want to end the fun. I'm just telling you if our chat room is like, what is going on?
Well, at
I'm
least
sorry in advance.
we at least gotta wait till the end
All
of
right,
this
all right.
mission.
6 minutes.
We're only 6
6
minutes
All right,
away.
All right. Song and dance.
Do you have any parting thoughts about like near future Fortnite though?
Oh yeah. Let's see. What are we going to be doing that's going to come? That's good. That won't make a liar out of me in the.
I thought you were willing to talk about that thing that that one team is working on.
Yeah, I know, but I don't
it's
wanna-
really cool.
I know, but But the thing is like. The people that work on it are so entertaining unto themselves that I don't want to steal any of their thunder.
Oh, that's true. We should
Because
really have them come on and
right,
talk about that stuff. I totally agree with that.
So I was
we
thinking
can still do that.
No.
I'm
We just don't want to take
I don't wanna
any of this.
steal any of their thunder
All right,
because
all right.
it'll
It's
be
gonna-
entertaining.
It's gonna be pretty good.
But there's a thing.
No,
coming.
yeah,
there's
That's
always a
cool.
thing.
there's always more stuff, but I think like I said, it's gonna be more game modes, more in that vein. So it'll be interesting to see where we land. That
More
I got to
fun.
tell again. I want to make sure our effects guys get their love because man, watching the trails of that friggin' thing
Right? Like, look at
whip
that
by
thing.
your head when that dude was shooting it is awesome, and it looks really good. They did such a great job.
Yeah, they really did.
There's a guy again. I want to make sure I say this on stream so everybody knows. Like there's just our team. There's a little, so much of it is like they care very much about every detail of the game, and they're working hard to make sure that every detail is crafted and loved like no other. So like that kind of stuff. Like I saw some of that people were talking about that in general chat again.
Yep.
That our game has a lot of detail. I was like that detail is not mandated by some meta portion of the thing. It must be detailed. It's like nope, that represents literally the love of the human beings that are working on those individual features, and because they care, they want everybody to be excited about every aspect of the stuff that they're doing. So when you guys see that stuff in the game, like yeah, that's because somebody really cares about you guys playing and seeing the best thing that they can possibly make. So that's what's cool. Like it's really cool.
I heard these guys had new swipes too that make it harder to melee them. Is that true?
Well, we'll see. Boom, he's trying to hit you, but he's not that effective.
Okay, that makes me happy because these guys are already hard as heck.
Once he's locked in, though, you get your chance to exploit him.
So in the chat, we're still talking about codes. I think we're still giving them out. There's just a lot of you. We got like one person doing it. He's probably sitting at his desk sweating right now.
Maybe
He
crying.
will probably have some things to say to me
Ooh.
after this is over.
We have a wall.
But
what are we doing here?
we're going to continue to give them out while you guys are sitting in chat. If for some reason you don't get
I
one
collected them all.
in Twitch chat today, hit us up on Facebook, hit us up on Twitter. We will get you a code.
Yeah, man, we are excited for
Oh,
people.
building things. Okay, so so we added the ability so you can modify while it's building now.
Yes.
And so, but it's not clear. There's no UX that tells. There's nothing that tells you that you can
Yeah.
do this. And so
It's great though.
it's super cool.
Make that mistake. I put a
the
window.
other
I meant to be a
thing-
door. Boom. fix
Okay,
it
the other
immediately.
thing is, here we go. All right, so you're building, you're like, oh my gosh, and then like blaster pops out or whatever. So you hit edit, and you hit right click, and it resets back to the base pattern.
Okay, I didn't even know
Oh
that.
man, that's
I
so
didn't know that
good,
either.
so awesome.
That's very
so,
useful.
So especially with the stairs, it's like, people that build the stairs, they're like, okay,
Yeah, and so you can
like,
just reset it immediately.
yeah, and then you can just, so you can, you got your thing going on here, and you're like, man, I really need the other pattern.
Yep, it just goes
Boom.
right
You
back
right
to
click
it.
and you go back.
Boom, it's just like that easy.
Gonna make use of that one.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, super exciting.
I know.
That was all Nick, just totally he put that together. It's been in since 8.1.
Yep.
But
Oh, look at that. Yeah,
boom. Go see what
Don't fall.
we've got in here. Ooh. Some guns, some ammo.
Oh, that doesn't
Oh.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Living life on the
Yeah,
edge.
whatever.
Yeah, there we go.
Literally.
Just healed back up. It's fine.
Yeah, we are.
Trying to think if there's any other key features that we got going on here.
That was pretty. Their building changes are pretty cool. Double surface. Traps.
Oh yeah, double surface traps,
we
right?
talked
So,
about that.
did we talk about it?
We did, but we
did
didn't
it.
You
show
mentioned
it.
it,
We
yeah.
didn't show it, but you can do that on both sides.
I built some wood here.
Oh, we even got some volunteers to test them out.
Yeah. Like, whatever. So this is cool.
And that works on both floors and ceilings.
And ceilings, right?
Right.
Boom.
Again, seems easy. It's not,
It turned out it was harder than we thought.
So.
But now
but we got it.
we're there now. Man. So I'm trying to think what else. Again, now you had me questioning at the beginning of the stream. Like I was like, man, if we didn't talk about that, what else in there we haven't talked about for a while? The other thing is always
Look at that.
useful.
There's a trap.
The one thing I could ask too is that we are currently iterating, and actually we'll be iterating through everything, but we have got active iteration on some of the hero specs. Outlander is one of them. We've asked before about like, hey, tell us about the good specs, tell us about the ones that you don't think are as awesome. That kind of feedback is actually
useful.
fairly useful in terms of that, because some of that is just like, hey, like show us how you're playing the game. It's one of those things they're harder to observe. We either have to play with you, we have to watch it in UX, or you
Right.
have to tell us about it. So that's useful. Like ultimately finding the ones that are a little less good, we want to polish them up just to make them better. So that's something people can help out
All
with.
survivors rescued. Okay, there is a 4-star badge,
Yep.
and it looks like that. So that other mission looks like maybe we did do all the encampments.
Yep.
Man, I need to go double check things.
Humanitarian right there.
Yeah, humanitarian. Look at
Enjoy that. This is a fantasy game right there.
Yeah, that's right.
Right there. You got it.
Even I can be humanitarian. See what we're bringing? This is awesome. Yeah. I feel it.
All right. We did it. All right. Thank you for watching, everybody. Again, still looking for code. If you didn't get one, hang out in the chat for a little bit. We're going to keep giving them out.
Yep.
But ultimately, if you don't get one, hit us up on Fortnite Game, at Fortnite Game on Twitter, or Fortnite on Facebook, and we will make sure that you get a code so you can come play with us. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.